Mickey Thompson is a name that is synonymous with speed. In 1960, he became the first American to break the 400-mile-an-hour barrier. Yet for Mickey's son, Danny Thompson, being known as a fast family is not enough. He wants to be the fastest in the world. Danny is taking Mickey Thompson's 1968 Challenger Streamliner, a vehicle which hasn't run since 1968, through the extensive process of restoration, retrofitting, and updating the car in a concerted effort to break the piston-driven world land speed record, which currently sits at 458 miles an hour. Speed Sport Magazine's Aaron Bates sat down with Danny Thompson as he prepares to finish his father's mission of setting the land speed record at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Hi, I'm Erin Bates. We're here at the Danny Thompson Race Shop in Huntington Beach, California, and we're going to get an up-close and personal interview with Danny and find out a little bit more about his quest on finishing what his legendary father, Mickey Thompson, started, and that's to set a land speed record in the Challenger 2 at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
I am Danny Thompson and I want to set a land speed record. This is a great, great project. It's got, not only does it have the gearhead thing in it, which we get those people understand us, but it's got a father-son relationship in it. I mean, this is a son finishing what his father started. So to me, I'm certainly biased. It's the greatest story on earth. My dad and I got along really good, but he never wanted me to race. Really, because he didn't want me to get hurt, and I always wanted to race, so it was always a little bit of tension in there. And he asked me to come drive his car, something that was probably the biggest, one of the biggest moments in his life was going 406 miles an hour and getting all that recognition. And for him to ask me to drive his car, it was like, it was unreal. And then, you know, him getting killed shortly after that, you know, it was devastating, you know, and it was something we were doing together and it got taken away. To finish something my dad didn't finish, because he finished almost everything and did everything really well, but he never got the official land speed record. So for me to go do it now and to finish his unfinished business, and at the same time I get to go fast, this is the biggest thing in my whole life, ever. The record right now is, for a piston-powered car, is 439 miles an hour. Wheel-driven, which is the official FIA deal, it's 458. So it's not where we're going to sit, it's where we have to sit. We have to go over 458 miles an hour to get that record, so that's the goal. Really, really hard thing to do. I mean, there's only been 11 people ever in the world to go over 400 miles an hour in a piston-powered car. So to join that, they call it the Black Hat Club, and you get a black hat if you go over 400 miles an hour. That's a big deal. I mean, my dad he had ability to get really, really good people to come help on a project. So we had the Nye Franks and Tom Jobs and Bob Skinners and Pat Fosters of the world. These were young kids at the time. But so that same frame we're running, we've modified it to fit the 500 cubic inch Hemis in there, and the skin, Tim Gibson has come up with a couple aero tweaks, but just very little on the skin. So it's basically, that's why we wanted to leave the car as much as we could. It's 46 years old. And taking a car that's 46 years old and trying to go out there and compete with the cars that are being built right now. Are we making our job harder? Maybe, probably, but it's old against new. Electronics, we don't have any of the trick electronics for management and all that stuff. Traction control is in Danny Thompson's right foot and not all done with a computer, and maybe that's a disadvantage. We'll know, we'll see. First year we'll go up there and we'll hold our breath and go. Everything's bigger, and it took the cockpit that my dad was in and we shrunk it almost 12 inches to fit all that stuff in. It's almost like you got to go to yoga class before you get in the thing. You get in there, but once you sit in there, I mean, to me, when they put that bonnet down and it's over me, and now that's my time. It makes me smile thinking about sitting inside the car. And it's a very, very compact deal. If I gained 5 pounds, I certainly wouldn't get in the car. What's really hard is sitting on the start line. You're sitting there and the engines are pop, 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 and you're looking at everybody outside and you're hoping they put the latch down, and then you just got to put all that out of your mind, saying you got enough confidence in your guys that you don't worry about any of that. Now you just take care of your job, you watch what you're doing, and you got to just go out there and you give it the best shot you can. Mentally, I mean, there's a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself. Probably most of the pressure is on myself. I have to finish this for my dad, you know, so there's a lot of pressure that way. But I have to do this for me, so it's, you know, it's kind of both. So the mental pressure is huge, and there'll be a lot of eyes on us. There's been a lot of, you know, talk about this car. Yeah, maybe they think you're a little bit off or whatever, but I mean, it's like, to me, it's like, that's what I want every morning when I get up. That's why I'm here every morning at 7 o'clock. And it's why I skip dinner, because I still want to do something here. You know, it's just, this is bitching. I mean, it's the coolest thing. Like I keep going back to that, it's the coolest thing I've ever done. It's just, I want to do this. And people say that, and they say, well, the chances of you getting that record are really slim. You know, I mean, you've only increased that record, you know, that one section 48 years with that only going up 8 miles an hour. Why do you think you can go do this? It's just, it's a mission. You know, this is a mission, it's a goal in my life, and I think, who was it, Erin Evernham, that said, for the 2014, failure's not an option. Failure's not an option.
It's such a great story. We wish Danny the best of luck in his attempt at setting that land speed record. We're going to continue to follow the story right here on Speed Sport Magazine. And if you'd like to see more about this project, check out our YouTube channel for a bonus video in which Danny Thompson describes all the features of the Challenger 2. Visit youtube.com/SpeedSportTV for more. Now, when we come back, an annual salute, Paris Speedway's amazing tribute to the Indy 500. Stay with us on Speed Sport Magazine. Since 1934, National Speed Sport News has been America's motorsports authority. Every month, Speed Sport Magazine comes alive with stunning photography, insightful commentary, and in-depth features. You will get the full story with Speed Sport Magazine. To start your home delivery of America's motorsports authority, log on to nationalspeedsportnews.com and hit the big yellow subscribe button. Be the fan in the know. Just go to nationalspeedsportnews.com and click subscribe.